You don't have to worry about being left stranded this back to school season when you have what's inside this emergency kit. Hello and welcome to the Queendom. I'm Sarah Engel, and today we're gonna go over what's inside this emergency kit so you have everything you need when you go back to school. You don't have to worry about whatever crazy shenanigans school sends your way. All sorts of craziness can happen when you're going back to school. You never know what you're gonna encounter in the classroom or in the hallway. This is not for your big apocalyptic emergencies like, oh no, there's an earthquake and now the zombie apocalypse is happening. This is not the survival kit for you. This is more like, oh no, I am at school and I'm having a problem that feels like a major crisis because high school. But we have inside of here little things that can help you get through the day stress-free, so no matter what emergencies you encounter, you have something in here to help you. So let's just unzip this and dive into what's inside. This is just a handy little pencil case. No pockets, no anything like that. And this came from Target. It zips up, nice and easy. It's perfect size to fit either in the bottom of your backpack, or you can even stick it in the bottom of your locker, even if you've got a really small locker. Slide it in there with your books and you've got everything you need. All right, so we're just gonna jump into what to actually put inside of this thing now. Numero uno. If you're a girl, you better put a tampon in. Oh my goodness, this is like the most critical thing of all time. Even if you don't have a whole emergency kit, you better have emergency one of these in your bag. You know what, even if not for yourself, I guarantee you, your classmates, one of your very desperate, in need classmates will thank you. This will save the day because that's the type of crisis you don't want to have to be dealing with at school. I don't need to explain anymore why you need this. You know why you need this. Number two is one anybody can use. Anybody should use. Everybody needs to use. You need to use this. Having a little tiny travel-sized deodorant is more important than you think. You could have a morning when you were rushing to get to school and everything was going wrong. You almost forgot your homework, your dog ate your shoe, your mom is having a meltdown and crying because the llamas ate the begonias. I don't know where I'm going with this, but you might have forgot to put on deodorant and your whole day is gonna stink. You'll thank yourself later if you just pack this, especially, oh my goodness, if you have a gym class. I don't know whose idea it was to put gym classes in the middle of the school day. Next up on the list, these are little teeny tiny Altoids. Some sort of breath mint has more uses than you might think. Not only does this cure bad breath, or at least help mask bad breath, this is a great way to make friends. If you open one of these up in class, it's a great way to meet the people near you. It's a great conversation starter. You could say hi to the person next to you. They taste good too. Pardon me while I eat one. And if you saw my back to school life hacks video, you noticed that one of my life hacks had to do with eating something minty both while you're studying and while you're taking a test. And here you go. This solves that too. Great for test taking, great for breath improving, and great for making friends. Next up on the list, clippers. These are little nail clippers. These ones happen to be shaped like a little mermaid or a little fish. They're really cute. Yours don't have to be cute. These are so cheap, so handy. They cut through things. They act kind of like a pair of scissors. They can also help with nails. You never know when you might need these. These have a lot of purposes. If you've got like a string hanging off of your back to school fancy outfit that you picked, you never know when you might need these. So clippers for the really hard days at school. Some tissues. Hopefully you're not having such a bad day that you're sobbing and that's why you need tissues, but you never know when you might need tissues. They can be to clean something up. If you've spilled, wipe something up off of your hands. You can even get a smaller size one of these if you want to take up even less room, but still want to have some tissues in your emergency kit. Remember that morning we were talking about where things were going crazy and you forgot to put on your deodorant because your mom, something with llamas and eating begonias? You might have also forgotten to eat breakfast. So, haha! Some sort of granola bar or protein bar can be really handy. You don't want to be starving the rest of the day. A little like power bar, granola bar, protein bar, something can help get you through the rest of the day without being miserable and making stomach grumbly noises the rest of the afternoon. Next up on the list is something that goes great in a wallet or a purse too, even if it's not for back to school. That's always helpful to have with you. Courtesy of my mom, the emergency 20 as she calls it. I just want to say courtesy of my mom. I don't think she gave me this $20 bill, but it's a tip that my mom gave me that I know she always holds true to as well. Always have an emergency 20 on you. Pack one of these in there and you never know when you're gonna be really glad you have this. Next up on the list, Band-Aids. These are helpful not only if you actually cut yourself. For instance, one of the biggest reason why I suggest getting 2 of these, if maybe you got these new cool pair of shoes that you're gonna wear to school and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna wear these new shoes, this is awesome, and then you don't realize that they're gonna totally cut up your heel and you're gonna be in pain while you're walking around, and that just sounds terrible. Solve your problem. Put a little Band-Aid in there to cushion it. Have some emergency Band-Aids in your emergency kit. These next ones, I feel like we all know. Emergency pen and pencil. I was like thinking for a second. Pen? No, pen and pencil.
Pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Do you know what? If you do forget something as important as a pen or a pencil, it's in your emergency kit. You're ready to go. Next up, we have hand sanitizer. Don't be caught feeling gross. Maybe somebody sneezes on their hand and then hands, like as you're passing all your papers and you're getting your papers back and the person next to you is like, achoo! Oh, here's your paper. You're gonna wanna sanitize your hands. You could also use wipes if you'd rather, and this is just really handy. For all my fellow long-haired friends, you need to bring either a brush or a comb, preferably a little tiny brush. Have you ever seen those ones where they like close up like a clam and then you open it and the brush pops out and on the other side it's like a mirror? But you do have a comb if you need like something that takes up almost no space because it's so flat. Hopefully nobody spits gum in your hair like someone did to me in high school. Hey, maybe it's that day with the llamas, your mama and the llama. That day again. It was a crazy day. You know what? You can just comb through it once you get to school. Just go in the bathroom and take care of business. Next up, a little floss. It's a little floss toothpick. I'm sure you've been there maybe after lunch, maybe you have snacks in class. You don't want to be the person who's got stuff stuck between your teeth. And if you do have stuff stuck between your teeth, you can get it out with this little floss pick. Next up is something that I think people should have in any emergency kit, any car, any backpack, any purse. I don't think it probably fits in a wallet, but chapstick. Nobody wants to have chapped lips. It looks gross, it feels gross. Just make your day a little more stress-free and easy. Chapstick. Next thing I'm on the list is Tylenol. This happens to be children's Tylenol because I have a hard time swallowing pills. And the times that I actually really need to use Tylenol are not the times that I really feel up to trying to swallow a pill without choking. You can use whatever kind you want, but just to have a couple little Advil, Tylenol, something, if your school allows it. I know some schools don't allow that. Don't get yourself in trouble. But if they do, this can save your butt. Or your head. Next thing on the list is a seashell. Just kidding. It's a mirror. I know we already talked about a mirror hairbrush, but this is just a plain little mirror. It's always helpful to have a mirror. You never know when you might need to look into it and see, hey, you need to use your little floss pick. Oh, I got floss in my teeth. Wait, and I got floss in my teeth. There we go. Mirror into the kit you go. Next one is another one that's either for you or a great way to make a friend if someone else really needs one, because when you need one, you need one. an extra hair tie. I feel like a lot of us almost always have one around our wrist. But in case it breaks, or you have a friend who needs one, or you need an extra one for some reason, or you'll lose it, you've got another one, and that's gonna save your day. All right, next I have some Q-tips. You can have like a little case to put them in or something like that. I've just got mine kind of rolling around in the kit. But you never know when you might need these. I'm not gonna get too much into the details of what you might need them for, but you know what, when you need them, you need them. Next on the list, Zyrtec or some sort of allergy medicine. In fact, if you're a person who carries an EpiPen, you might want your EpiPen in your emergency kit. That's for a real emergency. If you're allergic to anything, you might want to keep one of these in your car, in your purse, in your locker. Just have them around, including in your emergency kit, because you never know when one of these could like literally save somebody's life. So this is Zyrtec. They come in these little individual packets, which is really handy for putting them into your emergency kit. Next one, I know that I have had times when I have really needed these and they save the day. Tide to Go. This is amazing. It's an instant stain remover. If you like made a mess on your shirt and you're like, great, now I've got to walk around with this stain on my shirt the rest of the day. Fear not. You can get it out like 9 times out of 10 probably with this Tide to Go stick. You just open it up. I don't have a stain, but we're gonna do this. Press it down to kind of release the stuff, and then you wipe it. My non-existent stain is now looking like a stain because I made it wet. These are great to have, like not even just for back to school. Throw one in your car because you never know when you might need one of these. All right, another one that's very like just handy to have is just some paper. Have something that you can write on. You never know when you might need this. Maybe your phone battery is dead. Maybe you need to make a to-do list for class and your teacher doesn't allow electronics. But in case for some reason you have a teacher who doesn't like you using electronics and you forgot something that has your paper or your notebook, you're gonna want a way to write down things that doesn't involve writing on your skin. Speaking of paper, you could either write in the paper or just print off, but make sure you have a copy of your class schedule, please, 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 especially for literally back to school. Even if you think you know your classes, the class, the time, the room number, you're gonna be in big trouble if you don't know where your classes are and what time they are. We also have safety pins. These are very multi-purpose. They can help you avoid dress code violations. They can help fix rips in clothes. I feel like there's a lot of clothing situations where these come in handy in particular. Last one on the list before we get into our honorable mentions is tweezers. You never know when you might need a pair of tweezers. These ones came in a handy little kit of 4 different colored tweezers that all have different shaped tips. But if you just have a pair of tweezers with you, you never know when these might come in handy. Tweezers. They are nice. Now we're gonna move on to our honorable mentions. I actually have room for some of the honorable mentions in the emergency kit, but when I packed it, I wanted to make sure it wasn't too cramped. So if you don't mind yours being a little more full, you might be able to fit more of these in without even removing anything from that emergency kit. And of course, you feel free, mix and match as you find what you need for your personal back to school experience. First one I've got on here that I'll probably still put in the emergency kit, even though things will be squished. Dry shampoo. This stuff, well, it saves the day. This one's great. This is from Target, and it's really cheap and it's really little, and I have a bigger one underneath my sink because I use it on a regular basis, even not for emergencies. Another one you might like is fashion tape. Basically, if you do have like a hem or something that comes undone on your clothes, or you've got something that you didn't realize when you left the house, because again, the mama and the llama situation, you can use this. It's kind of like double-sided tape. I'll show you what it looks like in case you're unfamiliar. It comes in these little strips, and you can use it to like tape your clothing down from the inside. You know what? I might even put this on the regular list. This is handy for so many things. Some other little things that made it onto the honorable mention list, but I don't have here for you to see today, is Febreze in the little tiny to-go sizes. If you have a PE class, gym class, put it in your PE/gym locker, and you won't have such stinky clothes when you go back to class. Other honorable mentions include sunscreen, very helpful. Some eye drops or contact lens solution, or even extra contacts if you happen to wear contacts. A Mophie or some sort of portable charger is another great one to add. And they actually make some that are flat and shaped like credit cards. They'll be really easy to fit in there. I could still fit it in my kit. That can save your phone's battery life. You can also add fold-up shoes. Those don't take a lot of room up if you've ever seen those. Basically, they're flat shoes that fold completely up. My Rapunzel shoes happen to be fold-up shoes, but they make ones that are even smaller. They go in a little tiny bag, and that way if your heels, if you wore heels to school, are hurting your feet or your shoes, happen to be rubbing against them in the same spot, and you need something more comfortable to change into, you can just whip those out, put them on your feet. You can put wipes in here as an honorable mention. You could also put in an extra pair of underwear. You never know when you might need a pair. Maybe a Modium. You could also put in here, again, if your school allows you to have medicine with you. And last but not least, you could also put a lint roller in here. They make little tiny ones that you could easily put inside of an emergency kit depending on how big yours is. So there we have it, all the items inside of your own personal emergency back to school kit that you can keep with you that helps you get through any of the craziness that school might send your way this year. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for other things we could put in our back to school emergency kits. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and make sure you ring that little bell if you actually want to see any of those, because otherwise YouTube might not tell you when there's a new video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. It's not even squished, it closes. This is just a happy handy. For back to school, we have the back to school globe of enchantment. Every back to school video needs a globe in it. Every back to school anything. Would you prefer everything to be on a card, because it makes way more sense than carrying around paper that represents some sort of value that we as a society have invented?